Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
No, let me finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the weekly podcast where we discuss what the hell's going on in pop culture, current events, and everything else in between.
We are your hosts. I'm Janice.
I'm Stacy.
And I'm Jillian. Grab a glass of wine and let's get started.
Welcome back. Let me finish. This is episode 36.
Yeah.
Can y'all believe it?
Yes.
I can.
We are making
this one I can.
I know.
Where this is like a faithful weekly thing, so
It really is. Okay, so I am your host today. I am Stacy, and we have
Janice.
And I'm Jillian.
woohoo. All right, so let's just get on into it.
Let's get into it.
How was y'all week?
My week was I went to the fair.
I saw that. I didn't know you were
went
going.
to the fair. Yeah.
Who did you go with?
My job.
Oh, okay.
They so our owner, she actually did a fair day, and so she actually has a lot there too. So we all got to park in her lot, and then we walked over there, and she paid for the entrance and the tickets and the food and the rides. It was so fun.
Nice.
I had such a good time.
What kind of food did you have?
I know. What was the thing this year? Because every year they have. Ooh,
I did have some deep fried collard greens. Those
Ew.
were delicious. You don't like collard greens?
Not really.
You ain't had good ones then. Because you like callaloo, because that's what we as Jamaicans eat. It's the same thing. You don't like callaloo?
It's okay, but I'm not a fan of collard greens.
I do. I love it.
Oh, I love collard greens, especially the way the Americans be making it, girl. They be making this. Because callaloo, which is like our version of greens, is a way healthier version. The way the Americans make it, I'm like, it's so salty and good. It's so salty and full of just bacon and ham hocks, and I'm like, dang,
I just don't like it.
Okay. Well, that was delicious. And then I had this like deep fried like PB&J. That was delicious. I had some catfish, corn
None
dog.
of that sounds. Every year they usually have like a thing that. I remember one year they had
sweets though, so they had a lot of sweet stuff, but I don't like sweets.
It was, I think their big thing was, as far as like the ribbon winners, is the deep fried pho. And
I heard about that,
and then
I didn't see it though.
And then they had this like biscotti cheesecake. Everyone's been raving about that.
Okay, so the biscotti cheesecake I wanted to try, but it was so much going on and so many people, so it was hard to kind of. I didn't want to break away, like, because I enjoyed being with the company, so I just kind of went wherever they went and found different things, and had me a couple of daiquiris, and
I'm gonna try to make it this year.
They had like some kind of like a
drink,
tequila aid or some kind of aid. Like a lemonade, but they serve it in this like cup that's like in a cup that's in the shape of a boot, and everyone's raving about that.
Oh,
too.
I wanted to try that. No, but I got like a daiquiri, and then I had this pineapple, like a carved out pineapple with like some slushy drink inside. That was good too. It was good. It was fun.
And you got to miss work, so I mean.
Yeah, kind of. We left work at like 3. I guess for me, I leave work at like 6:37 sometimes. So I guess for me, it was like a nice day to get out early and enjoy ourselves. The weather was good, right? The weather was nice. It was overall really fun. And then today I'm gonna go, because now she also has Gen Z, which is like a beauty boutique here in Louisville. So I'm gonna go get my hair done for some content for her page today. So
very cool.
Yeah. So my boss, she'd be doing it.
Awesome.
So we had a good week there, and other than that, I just chilled. I guess.
What about you, Jill?
I had a crappy week because I was sick the whole week.
You were still sound a little sick.
Yeah, I'm still a little off as far as my voice. So Sunday I kind of felt it coming on. Like I felt it earlier than that. I felt it on Saturday, but I'm like, okay.
You were saying that you weren't.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling the greatest, but it like escalated on Monday. I had to go to urgent care on Tuesday, and they're like, yeah, you have a sinus infection, and I had laryngitis. So
she didn't tell us. Did she tell you?
She did not tell me this.
I mean, it wasn't like I was
all the way to urgent care and not telling anybody.
It wasn't. It was like, it's just so I can get antibiotics. I knew that's what it was.
Oh please! When I go to urgent care, I'll be like FaceTiming y'all, like I'm in the urgent care.
It wasn't like that. I didn't have a fever or anything like that. It wasn't. It was nothing.
You were like, I just don't feel good, and I don't.
Yeah, I don't feel good. My nose is stuffy, and like I said, I had really bad laryngitis. So like to the point where I could barely talk to the doctor, tell her what's going on.
Yeah, your voice sounds a little.
So yeah, because it's like I was
rougher.
still coughing up stuff, and like every morning when I would blow my nose, it would just be like all this gunk and stuff like that. And so I was like, I need to get rid of this before, because I've had it where it's gotten so bad I've gotten bronchitis, and so
I get bronchitis all the time.
I don't. Okay,
I thought you were gonna say pneumonia.
No,
she's had that before too.
Yeah,
bronchitis. I feel like is. But usually, like the first thing as soon as you have any type of sinus, you have bronchitis.
Yeah, I usually have an either upper respiratory infection or bronchitis or whatever. So I wanted to make sure I stopped it before it got that bad. And so I went back to work on Wednesday and Thursday, but I was just like, I could barely work because I could barely talk on the phone, because the more I talked, the worse my voice got. And so I would have to like take a break, make sure I was drinking a lot of water. And then I think yesterday was the first day I'm like, okay, this is it.
Well, what a way to get into your 40s. What an introduction into the 40s.
I know. It sucks, but...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You turn 40, you just freaking fall apart.
Everything falls apart, but...
Girl, please. I feel like that's in your 30s.
Yeah. It starts there, but...
Knees, your body starts aching in places you didn't know.
Yeah.
And
but
ridiculous.
40s is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
My week was... Yeah. I felt like I did a lot of going out to eat this week, because we had to go out to eat for my daughter's birthday. Then we went out to eat for your birthday. And then we went out to eat for my husband's birthday. I'm just like, I need to go like on some type of fast or something, because I just
clean up, wash out.
I need to clean my system out from all that eating out. So anyway, my husband's birthday was on Thursday. So we went out to eat on Friday, and he has never been to STK.
Yeah.
And I know one of our earlier episodes that we did, we had went there for a girls' night, and we completely talked about how it was just trash. And I was just like, I really didn't like it, but I mean, that was a long time ago. So hopefully, and I know they were like, it was new and they probably had growing pains. And I'm thinking, okay, things should be better now,
I would think that, but
because
it should be good right away at a restaurant.
So I don't know, but sometimes whenever a restaurant first opens, within 6 months, they may have changed like the head chef and all. Things change frequently,
recipes
right?
change,
everything changes.
Stuff,
So I'm like, well, he had never been, and I'm like, okay, let's just go there, because that's what he wanted. So we went there, and girl, when I tell you, it may be even worse. Okay, the service, I will say, was better. Like when we got there, we had reservations, so we were seated right away.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't
were
give
y'all
us
towards the front with all the commotion and the chaos?
No, and it wasn't.
Okay,
it wasn't. Well, we did go a little bit earlier too. I don't know how it would have been if we had went later on that night. But anyway, so we had a good spot to sit. Our server was on point. So I mean, the service was good from our server. Mm-hmm. That was fine. But when I tell you, that food was trash. I don't know if it came out of the box.
Really?
I want to say the food was better.
Searing it on the table.
That one steak, obviously, but everything else, like the mashed potatoes and all that. And then
the sides.
Yeah, it was terrible.
The sides were bad?
Yes. I swear the mashed potatoes were from a box.
No.
Like, yes.
The mashed potatoes?
They were terrible. How you ruin mashed potatoes?
What did we say that we had that we actually liked? The calamari? Did you have the calamari again?
Yes, because I remember it being good. Yeah. It was terrible. Yes.
Oh, no.
And then we got crab cake.
I'm starting to think you don't like calamari as much as you think you do.
No.
No,
we always get calamari.
No,
I'm not a huge fan of calamari, and I like it to be extra crispy. Mm-hmm. So, but we always get it because we just like to try it wherever we go. And then I love crab cakes. We got the crab cake. So when you
crab
order,
cake was good last time.
So when you order a crab cake appetizer, it's literally one crab cake, just one crab cake for like 40.
Yeah, you didn't like it last time.
I didn't. Oh, because it was terrible.
My friend Jasmine got it last time. I liked hers.
Oh, it was gross.
But it was definitely just one
for $40.
No, Stacey got the crab cakes and she didn't like it.
Okay, well, we always order crab cakes for appetizers. It was terrible. The food was terrible,
and the bill was high.
Girl, we always play this guessing game to see it
was like $600.
Yes, but the thing is, personally, I don't eat steak. So the only person that actually orders a steak is my husband, because the girls don't eat steak. And Kylie ordered, her meal was an appetizer. It was the little sliders, the little mini.
That's what I ended up getting. The sliders weren't bad.
Okay, so
No, they weren't.
But it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was like $30 for 2 little baby sliders.
It wasn't a meal. So pretty much the only person that ordered a meal was my husband and then Kiara, because she had like fish and chips or whatever, which was terrible also.
That was terrible too?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and we pretty much.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust. That's the thing about going to a steakhouse. I typically don't like when you go to a steakhouse. I don't trust steakhouses to do good seafood.
I'm just like, and I had shrimp. It was 5 pieces of shrimp. Girl, my meal.
The way she said
5 pieces of shrimp.
The meal was so expensive. So
Not jumbo shrimp.
So we played a guessing game, like, how much do you think it is? And mind you, we just came back. We went to Ruth Chris and everything like that. Which Ruth Chris, I don't care what they charge. The food is good. It's worth it. So we're thinking, probably like what we would pay at a normal, like, high end steakhouse.
Yeah.
Girl, that bill came. I said, I feel
robbed,
raped.
I feel. Oh my God! You ripped my clothes off of me.
Oh my God! I was like, never again. Mm-mm. And
it was at the drinks or something.
Girl, it's just it's just overly expensive for no reason. The quality of food is not worth the cost of the food. And I'm thinking they overprice everything because they have to keep the place up and running because the food is terrible.
Did Ernest like his steak?
I mean, he ate it, but I mean,
okay.
And
what other sides? What about the mac and cheese? Didn't we have the mac and cheese last time? Wasn't that good?
We did not get the mac and cheese. We got the truffle fries. We all got truffle fries, and it was terrible. So literally,
the truffle fries are horrible.
I love truffle fries.
Truffle fries are horrible there.
We literally, Kira was just like, I feel so. She's like, I just feel so bad. This food is so expensive, and we don't like it. So we just packed everything in boxes, and then I put it in the fridge because I was like, okay, nothing an air fryer and some slap your mama seasoning can't fix. Because I'm like, me, I'll go home and throw down on some leftovers.
I will recook that sucker.
I will put some slap your mama on that. I can put all those truffle fries in the air fryer. Girl, I opened the fridge. I was like, it was making my fridge stink. I trashed all that stuff.
Oh
I
God,
said, no, never again.
That's horrible.
Oh my God.
But anyway.
The bread. I'm trying to look and see the pictures.
They did have like that garlic bread that they brought out or whatever. But the music was also too loud. We couldn't have conversations with each other because they had
that was
DJ.
The main thing last time. I felt like there was no room to actually enjoy your table.
You cannot. And still the same. To be honest with you, there's so many other really good restaurants in Dallas. I don't see SDK making it that long.
So it's official. I will never be going to STK again.
No.
Yeah. Here's a little crab cake. That one little crab cake. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the truffle fries weren't good.
They were terrible.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that one when we went, I think our friend got the lamb chops. I think those were pretty
That's
good.
what everyone...
She did get the lamb chops.
That was... Tammy got the lamb chops. She said that was good.
And the mac and cheese, I think the mac and cheese was decent. Decent. Okay. Not good.
Yeah, we're just not going back.
We're not going back.
I'll never go back.
Yeah. I think for my birthday, though.
Even the shots were crazy expensive. Like $15 a shot. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm definitely not going back. I think for my birthday, because my birthday's coming up, y'all. I think I'm going to go to Monarch.
Oh, I heard about that one. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
I don't even know why I go to steakhouses when I'm really not.
You don't like steak?
I don't eat steak.
You like...
So pick some place else.
Stick to your Ocean Prime, baby.
I love Ocean Prime. I just like steakhouses because the quality of the food is better. It's more high end. The ambiance, the vibe. That's what I go for.
But my thing is that you go to a steakhouse for a really good steak.
Yeah, I don't eat steak.
There's plenty of nice restaurants that are
steak. I
not steakhouses.
I'm not going to pay $90 for a steak, but I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't pay $90
I got to get my filet, so
somebody else can pay $90
That
for
was my
steak.
weekend, so I'm about to do some type of detox or something.
Yeah, yeah. You're eating a lot. There you
sure
go.
did. I was just like, this eating and drinking.
Okay.
All right, so do we have time for some chokeholds?
Yeah, no, let's take a break and then come back.
Let's do it. I do have a chokehold, but I'll let you go first if you have.
Mine? Okay, so my chokehold's like a mini chokehold, but it's really just about Drake as a person.
Okay.
Because I've been hearing like things about Drake for years about how he's immature, how he like doesn't like really date women. He just like plays.
Right.
Like he's just a hoe. But then at the same time, he's like not even a good hoe.
Right.
Like he's not good. That's what I hear. I've heard from other stuff. And then so SZA came out And I love SZA. I love her. I love her music. I love her vibes. But she came out, she said it wasn't, I guess when she dated him, I guess briefly, she's like, it wasn't hot and heavy or anything. It was like youth vibes. It was so childish.
Well, not to cut you off, but have you also heard that Drake's like, he likes like young girls? Like he had, he was messaging like, what is that little Millie Bobby Brown or whatever little thing?
Like
and she was like 18 and they're like, you're a grown man. Like, why are you having?
And I think it's because he likes to go for younger women because he's childish. I heard him on a podcast.
How old is Drake?
He's same age as I am.
36?
We're the same age.
Yeah, because he has no business messaging a little. I've heard about him.
And I think it's because he doesn't want to take anybody seriously because he doesn't really want to settle down. He wants to live his life. But then on top of that, you're not even putting it down right. So what are you really doing?
Well,
and then and he was on this podcast. And it was just like hearing him talk and just be himself. I was like, oh, okay, he is immature.
He does.
But he's so fine.
He's really not.
He's so fine to me.
The way he's been looking,
tripping, he is fine.
No,
he's fine.
The way he's been looking lately with all that stuff in his hair, like, what's up with that?
I don't know. He looked good, though.
He looks like Rainbow Bright. This last month or whatever that I've been seeing pictures of him, he has like bobby pins or clips, colorful clips in his hair.
What?
You have not seen the pictures of Drake?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he's not
looking. Pay attention that much.
He's not looking the same.
He's doing the most.
He's not looking the same like what he used to look like. I'm like, what's going on with Drake? Like, what's going on with him?
I think for a long time he hid behind like the image of how good looking he is, but I think the more people are putting it out there how he really is, it's like I don't feel like people have a lot of favorable things to say about people that know him.
Aubrey, this Drake is fine. This is not how
Aubrey is fine.
This is not how Drake has been looking lately. Drake has been walking around with like colorful clips in his hair.
Immature. That's that immaturity.
Oh well,
shit.
I mean.
And I love him.
He's taking a little break, so hopefully he'll come back better than ever.
Yeah, and then I read something also that he said he's taking a break from music. He's taking a hiatus from music to focus on his health. I wonder what's going on with his health.
Who knows?
But yeah, he said, I guess after the release of his last music album.
This is how Drake is walking around right now.
Oh no. Let me see.
Oh yes. Like what is going on with him?
Oh wow.
And then his new album was.
You look ridiculous. That's stupid.
This is how he's walking around, and his new album was trash. And then they were saying that he was throwing shots at Rihanna on one of the verses.
Immature.
And I actually read it, and I was like, yeah, it pretty much does sound like he's very much talking about Rihanna, but whatever. Like, grow up.
Yeah.
Leave her alone. Like she's been done with you for how long?
First of all,
she don't had 2 kids.
Drake, you good and you are talented and all that, but don't make Rihanna come with the comeback because she can
and she will
and she'll
bring receipts.
Well,
for real.
Okay.
I mean, she turned it into a hit record before you know it.
She will turn it into a hit record, and baby, let me tell you
that and Bitch Better Have My Money. That was her.
I'm telling you.
Well, who was she answering to for that?
Somebody messing with her and her money.
All
I think it was her an old agent or manager or something.
Rihanna is my girl. Y'all know I love me some Rihanna. So Drake, stop. Leave that girl alone.
Leave alone.
She got to leave her alone.
Leave
There's no
alone.
reason for it.
Yeah. Good old.
Yeah.
But that was why I went chokehold. It was just Drake because I've been seeing him in the headlines and it's not been favorable.
I have a chokehold, so y'all. I don't know what's going on with my algorithm on my phone or whatever. So here lately, every time I go on Facebook, I keep getting these little clips of Sister Wives.
Me too.
I haven't watched Sister Wives I watched it when it first came out, and this show they're in the 18th season, so this show has been on for a very long time. I want to say it came out in 2014, 2015, something like that. I don't know, a long time ago.
Oh wow.
So anyway, I watched it in the very beginning, so I kind of understood what was going on. You know, he had 3 wives, and I watched it when he brought the new wife in, which is like his favorite wife. And I kind of quit watching it because I was like, whatever.
I hear it's good.
There used to be another show that used to be on HBO called Big Love. Also, that was another one.
Big Love.
So anyway, I just stopped watching it. But every time
Big Love was good.
This past week, every time I go on Facebook, just little clips keep popping up, and I was like, "Oh, this is juicy!" And I'm like, "Damn, all the wives left him." And I was like, let me get caught up, right? So I'm like, I'm not gonna go back and start watching from way back then. I'm just gonna start watching because I get the gist of what happened throughout the years. I'm gonna start watching it from season 16. So I've been watching season 16. I'm finally on the most recent season, which is season 18, and I was just like, oh my God, this stuff is so juicy. This is so good. I was like, ooh, I should tell the girls that we should talk about this like plural
On the
marriage on the podcast, and I was like, nah, they don't watch this. This is like some weird shit that only I would watch. And then Julian walks in today. She's like, what are you watching? I'm like, Sister Wives. She goes, oh my God, I love that show. So we are going to talk about this.
Sister Wives.
We're going to talk. We're going to have an episode about plural marriage, plural marriage, and being sister wives. Because honestly,
take a little stress off of me. Yeah, you go cook today.
It could be interesting if you're the favorite wife.
Or wife number one.
Yeah.
Well, it could be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice though. If I'm the main. Go and I'm like, I don't want to tonight. Go over there.
You come help take care of these kids. You can take care of the kids. You want cooking duty this week? I'll just be over here chilling.
Right.
Y'all can send them
I'll
back
take the kids to school.
Done.
I'll do carpool.
Yeah, like I gotta go to Pilates today. So y'all got this? Cool.
Yeah, I'll pick up the kids on the way back.
But no, it's a train wreck. It's a whole mess. But anyway,
it is an absolute mess. So I'm just like, girl, hurry up and catch up because it's getting even better.
Recording, I'm gonna be back in my room in the bed watching Sister Wives.
Gosh. Okay. Well, now I feel like I need to, because Lakin's told me
we're gonna
a lot about Sister Wives.
We need to dig into this. For real.
And then I heard he's horrible and he's not even attractive.
He's not.
Like, he's rude. He's not attractive. I'm like, oh my God.
He's horrible.
Girl, you gotta give me something special.
And the last wife that came in, she was little, and when she first came, when he brought her in, she was cute. She was skinny and little and pretty because all the other wives had looked like they were worn down.
Yeah, because they had a bunch of kids.
Now when I see her
dealing with him,
the new wife, when I see her, I said, baby girl, what happened to you?
Dealing with this man and his lifestyle.
Terrible.
You think it's all fun and games, and that should be stressful as hell.
Stressful. Yep. I'm stressed watching the show. I'm sitting here like, what? Like I'm literally talking to myself. I'm like,
because I feel like in the show Big Love, like he had his favorite. His first wife was his favorite.
Yeah, Big Love was scripted, right? It wasn't like a show. It was a show.
It wasn't real.
Sister Wives is real, and baby, they be going through it. I'm like, oh,
but it's just crazy to me. And then eventually, like all the women eventually have, like in Big Love at least, they all had a form of jealousy.
Oh, they do in Sister Wives too, and between the wives, it's like 18.
I don't think Janelle has ever been really jealous. I think Janelle's kind of been like whatever.
On Sister Wives,
Christine has definitely been. Mary's been jealous in Robinson. I don't get jealousy vibes from Janelle.
I don't either.
She's like, fuck it.
Janelle is just like, you come over here. As long as you come over here, the 2 nights a week you're supposed to be over here, and we get along when you come and you take care. She's cool. She's like, whatever.
Shoot, maybe that's what I need to do. Share,
but
I'm too jealous to share.
The newest wife,
I'm too lazy
when she came in.
Share, and then I'm too jealous to
check
share.
this out real quick. So the last wife that he brought in, when she came in, she was a divorcee. So I don't know if it was divorced, but she already had kids.
She got a divorce.
She had 3 kids already when he brought her in. And tell me why. They had to go pull from like the money. They have like a joint. All the wives put the money like in a pot or something, and they went into that pot and pulled money out and bought the new wife this big old house. Can you imagine? I'm telling you, it could have its perks now, y'all.
That's what I'm saying, the perks, and they want this like camaraderie. Like, okay,
yeah,
my bestie.
Just like this show right here is wild.
But I mean, Mary always had a big house, though.
She did.
She did always have a big house.
But anyway,
I wonder how he supports all that.
They all work.
We don't. They all work.
All the wives work too?
Except for Robin. The favorite
work.
wife doesn't work.
Everyone else
perfect.
works.
That's what I'm telling you.
Like Christine would work on and off. Janelle was always working. Mary, she's in LuLaRoe.
I'd be like, so do I have an allowance as the one that doesn't work or what?
They all
figure it out.
They all have to give money.
They do have
budget. They pay all her
Robin
bills.
don't work.
And she has a nanny. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
because she has the younger kids because she
don't work and she's at home all day with the kids. And
Truly was the only other one that was like
young.
Truly and Savannah.
Truly was like 10.
Yeah.
But the newest wife had the youngest kids. They're like 7. I mean, so she had like a nanny and she's a stay at home sister wife.
That's the thing I never get. If you're a stay-at-home mom, why do you need a nanny?
And she had him every night because he was having issues with the other 3 wives, so he was always at her house. I'm like, so technically you
got all the help.
Technically you in the monogamous relationship because he's always at your house. It's all the other wives that have to.
It's not a monogamous relationship. Let's be clear.
Because he was anyway. I heard all the wives finally left him, so I'm trying to get caught up.
Yeah, one of them got divorced. Like.
Technically, it's not really a divorce because legally they weren't married.
I think it's the first one that divorced him.
No,
divorce. He's only legally married to the last wife.
Yes.
So technically, they just all left him. Technically, there's no. And I heard like a lot of
times the first one that left him.
The first
all of them. 1, 2, and 3.
The third wife left first. She said, "I'm
The
done."
third wife left first. I thought the first wife left first.
And no, because she was hanging on. He didn't want the first wife. He literally was like,
that's why he started bringing in other women.
He literally was like saying to her, I don't
like
want.
you.
He literally basically.
I don't like
and
you.
she was just like hanging on, hoping that she's like, well, I'm in this for. They believe even in the afterlife,
She's
they're
still holding
married.
on. She's still holding out hope.
They don't believe in divorce. So even if he doesn't want her, she still has to be there.
You don't even believe in marriage
as a sister wife. You know, that's their religion, the plural, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's a stretch.
Yeah.
I always think it's funny that those religions are always run by men.
but that's the thing.
They always have multiple
that's all
wives.
religions.
Men that think that they want this, after I'm looking at him like, yo, I don't know how you ain't.
Can you
fell out yet,
imagine
because
them being like,
they be stressing him
it's
out.
a cult leader, really? Can you imagine the person running this community being a woman saying the women have multiple husbands? Can you imagine?
Right?
Can you imagine if the script was
But
flipped?
technically, if it's
Actually, there
if
is
it's
a show
plural,
where
you
she's-
can have multiple husbands, right? Plural.
Yeah. So technically, and I think in the Mormon religion, no, it's just plural wives, not plural husbands.
That's not fair.
And then, but there are, if you live in a
Latter-day Saints, they believe that.
yeah. So, but I think if you're in a poly relationship, you can be a woman with
No, I'm not talking about poly relationship. I just believe in having multiple partners. I'm talking about religious wives. Oh, I should have multiple wives. This is how the Bible
it's
works.
wives.
It's
It's
a-
religious
the
basis.
cults.
It's not the other way around.
Like,
But
keep calm and obey that one Netflix
At least
show.
not
But I don't think-
Judeo-Christian faith. No.
But a lot of countries in other parts of the world do believe in multiple wives, though.
Again,
Yeah.
multiple wives. Where's the multiple husbands?
I know, right?
There isn't.
Personally, I would not want to have multiple husbands. I
Oh,
ain't
God,
got
they're
time.
way too much work. But
I've heard some like I said, I don't know where this is, but I've heard certain like tribes in some far off place
Yeah.
where they do have what do you
So in some parts of Africa, they do. They
when
do
you're
have
saying
multiple
that
wives.
about, you had said this a while ago, and those tribes, or they're just naked. It's like, what tribes? What tribes?
like I said, I don't.
Julie's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Random tribes. I'm sure
I've
they're
seen
there.
them. But what it is that where it's a woman has multiple partners as far as men, and they sleep with it, that way that no man knows specifically which child is theirs, so they all come to. It's easier for them to all come together and raise the children because you don't know which one's genetically yours.
Yeah, so I don't want to have. I don't want to have multiple husbands. I can't. I'm sorry. One husband is enough for me.
Yeah.
I have.
It's a lot of work.
It
Yeah.
is.
But I guess the way so watching Sister Wives, the way it makes, if it really truly works well, the way Janelle, like I said, I don't want to jump ahead too much because Stacey is a little further ahead behind me. But the way Janelle's like, it caused the wives to be able to have a little bit more independence.
Yes.
Because this technically, let's say it's 104, that means that you're only really dealing with him 2 days out of the week.
Uh-huh.
And you're kind of able to kind of do your own thing the other days of the week. And then also she said that, when it worked well, you also had these other women who could support you and help you raise your children.
You should have like built-in best friends.
Yeah, well, especially Christine.
Brainwashing is real.
But here's the thing: if it works well,
for them, and it works for well.
And some of these women grew up like this already. Some of these women that came in, most of
Janelle
them
and Christine.
came
Typically,
from
yeah,
a
they do.
family where it was already like that.
Yeah.
So it's not foreign to them, and they're used to it, right? So it works. So they don't. A lot of them don't have all that jealousy that we would have.
Yeah.
Because I'm pissed off.
That's what they're used to.
Leave that wife and come over here now. Get
Yeah.
over here. I have a problem. Get your ass over
Yeah.
here.
Over
now.
here
Like,
now.
Yeah.
But
But
they
Christine,
can't do that because
Christine, even
It
though she
wouldn't
was the
work for
first
me.
one to leave,
would not work for me.
so Christine,
Parts of it would, but parts of it would not.
yeah.
That's really what it boils down to. Like,
Can you
I
pick
want
and
all
choose
the-
what works for you?
I want the benefits. There sound like there are some benefits.
But when I say get here, you better get over here now. I don't want to hear about you or your other
The main
wife.
reason why they would not work is I can't share. No, I don't want to share you.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
You with her for how long?
But if
you were
they're-
only with me for this long.
Oh, one of them was. They
do track it.
They were
They do keep track.
I remember one time when you met this much time because he spent most of his time with the new wife, the favorite. She's a favorite wife.
I would probably be the same way too. I'd be like, you spent 2 days over there. Why?
Yeah. So
It's crazy.
It's my day.
It's a little different. And I think a part of it too, because Janelle and Christine grew up in that lifestyle, and I think either Janelle or Christine I think Mary and Janelle, they're actually related via marriage.
Via marriage, yeah.
And then also Christine, she really grew up in that whole thing because everyone knows Warren Jeffs, the guy that's in prison. She's actually related to him.
But the thing is, I guess what I like about the show, because I watch a lot of like trashy reality. I'll make it real quick. I watch a lot of trashy reality TV, and like watching Real Housewives and all that, all the fighting, all the drama, and all that kind of stuff. With this, it's not like that, and it seems real. Like a lot of times I watch some of the other shows, I'm like, okay, that's so scripted.
Okay.
This actually,
they add that in for drama or
seems
whatever.
real. Like there's no fighting within each other, right? I mean they are like a physical fight?
No,
because they don't do that. They don't do physical. I mean, they argue and get upset at each other, but it still seems like authentic. Like it's not. Sometimes I watch the Real Housewives and I'm just like,
when they seem authentic.
No, these people are really going through it. It's a lot. I mean,
I think a part of it too.
I got her.
Now the husband, Cody, he's so delusional. Dramatic, girl. I'm like, Cody, shut up, because you're just so dramatic.
I think I watch it for the actual sister wives because Cody. Yeah. He is like, if they never had sister wives again and just followed the wives, I would still be interested.
Me too.
Cody, frankly, you're an accessory. You are
really,
because he gets on my last nerve,
and he get on their nerves too.
Is he like? Is it offensive how he acts?
Pretty much, he's a misogynist prick.
He's a narcissist. Like, if you ever want to know what a narcissist is, just watch that show. He gaslights them like crazy.
Oh, I hate gaslighting.
Oh, he's like a pro at it, and then I'm like, sometimes when I watch him, I'm like, ooh, give him an award, because baby, that he just acted his ass off for it, because he'd be like, like, oh my god, like, you've got to watch.
Like, relax, Cody, relax.
Let me stop talking about this, because this needs like a whole entire.
It does need a whole entire.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll
come back to it.
Yeah, we can go ahead and get into our main topic. I saw a clip. It was posted on the Shade Room. I think I sent it to both of y'all to listen to it. But essentially, it's with Tristan. This is about Tristan, the Kardashian. You know, I love the Kardashians.
You know, I love them too.
So I saw the clip where.
Kardashians.
Yeah. So essentially, it looks like Tristan is in counseling, and he's trying to understand, like, he truly loves Khole, he says, and Khole is his person. He doesn't understand why he treated her the way he treated her in the past and stuff like that. And
why he get help
on the new season, right? It looks like a lot of the family is supporting him. And Kim actually said that, and I sent y'all the clip, and Kim was saying basically that she has a good relationship with Tristan, and that yes, he might have issues, but he's a good father, and that he's really helped her out. Yeah, air quotes, quote unquote. And that she said that he helped her out a lot with, her going through what she's going through with Kanye. He really stepped in and came in and helped her out with Saint, her son, and he took Saint to games and took him out to eat, or just was there.
Yeah, I think he was just being there when she wasn't able to.
And she was just saying, yeah, he's a great father. Well, I mean, Tristan also has an older son. This is his first child. This is the woman that he was with, Jordan Craig. He was with her and cheated on her with Khole. And then he basically left her when she was pregnant and got with Khole. So she had a son. His name is Prince. So he's the very first child, the oldest child. And he also has...
How old is he now then? Like, he's 9 or 10?
So he has a total of 4.
He has 4. Prince is like 7 or 8. Oh. The daughter that he has with Khole, she's young. She's just tall. She's actually taller than...
she's like what, 4 or 5? 5?
She's like 4.
Preschool, pre-K.
She's like 4. She's like in pre-K or going to kindergarten. She's like 4 or 5. She's like 5. She should be like 5 now. Yeah, so maybe. The oldest child is Prince, who's like 7 or 8. But anyway, he has a younger child that he had with that whenever this last time Khole had the surrogate that was pregnant. He cheated on her and got that girl pregnant. That all came out.
Right.
And the babies should be about the same age as the new baby, right?
I think they're a year apart, because the surrogate was already pregnant. I think only like a few months, and then the other girl had just had the baby.
She had the baby, or she was pregnant?
No, she literally had the baby too. Like, when Khole found out, the woman had just had the baby.
Oh, and the surrogate was already pregnant.
That's how it came out. And then the surrogate was a few months pregnant, but nobody knew because it was a brand new pregnancy.
Yeah. Okay, so that baby would be a little bit older than the new baby.
Yeah, so I'm thinking they're probably like 9-10 months apart.
Okay, now that baby he refuses to have anything to do with because he basically had told the girl that he had the one night stand with or whatever relationship they had, that he didn't want her to keep it and she chose to keep it. It doesn't matter if you did not want it or not. At the end of the day, that's your child. You are responsible. So I'm sure he's paying monetary, right? But you can't force him
to be a part of the
child's life. So anyway, so for me, it kind of struck a nerve. But I'm not in this situation. It's not my. But when I heard what Kim said, I was saying he's a great father.
What did you go into? What the?
Well, I'm about to.
Okay.
So when I first heard it, just as a regular person listening to this and just kind of knowing the back history, because I've always watched the Kardashians and stuff, I was like, that's kind of messed up. Like she's saying he's a great father and he doesn't take care of like all his kids. And it just coincidentally, I happened to follow the first. Baby mama. I followed the sister. You know they're actually Jamaican, right?
You follow the sister?
Well,
what made you follow the sister?
Because they're Jamaican.
Random. Okay. They're Jamaican.
Thompson
Well, so he's Jamaican too.
Yeah.
Is he from Trinidad or Jamaica?
No, his family's Jamaican. Tristan, Jamaican.
Okay, I don't know.
He's Canadian, but
they're Jamaican. So
he got them Caribbean roots.
So
love to sow them.
The only reason how I ended up following the sister, Kevin Hart's wife, whatever her name is, they're all
in the same circle.
They're all Jamaican, actually. They're all half Jamaicans or whatever they are.
Okay.
They're like the Chinese Jamaican looking people or whatever. Yeah.
Sainty.
So that's how I actually followed the sister and I actually followed Jordan Craig.
Okay.
The sister posted, and I actually saw when she posted, and I actually sat there and read the whole post, and she was just saying how it's so sad and it's so hurtful that her sister has been quiet the whole time, but she can't be quiet anymore. She has to speak up about her nephew, and she's basically saying that Tristan doesn't do anything for her nephew. The only time he comes around if it's like a planned party or an event, so it's like a photo opportunity. He'll come. He doesn't pay for his tuition. He hasn't been paying child support, and her sister's working multiple jobs and to make sure that he's not lacking in anything, and he's having the same type of lifestyle like his other kids are having. And she's also saying that he doesn't even know what school the baby attends, which is sad. And she was just saying it was hurtful to hear. And she was like, it's nice that he's doing things for other people's kids. It would be nice for him because apparently they only live 30 minutes away. And she was saying it would be,
I can only imagine hard
how
to hear.
Hurtful. But not only that, you have to see it, right? Like this is all on TV.
That's
so to see.
But he's not doing that because he's a good dad. He's doing that because he wants to get in Khloe's good graces and the family's good graces.
Or because he wants to be a Kardashian. Because some of these men want to be famous like these women.
Get in the family's good graces.
He just wants to be a freaking celebrity because clearly his basketball game's not going that well.
Is he not playing
He's so awkward too. Have you seen him on the show? He's so awkward on the show.
So awkward.
So
that made me think. He is. So that made me think to myself, like, wow, like let's get into this. So I feel like as a woman, and if I'm with a guy that has other kids outside of the ones that we have together, it would bother me if he didn't want anything to do with those kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you don't know if that situation is going to turn around and be on you.
With Khloe being the way she always comes across, like she's such an amazing person, holier than thou, blah, blah, blah.
Do the right thing.
You know how Khloe is.
Do the right thing.
How as a woman could you sit there and know that this man has a child before your kids that he doesn't do anything with or take care of? Even the new one, was through cheating.
I wonder how because I would think that it would be harder for her to accept the other one, the one that happened during their relationship and while she was working on having another baby of her own. I feel like that would be harder for her to accept. But at the same time, if you're accepting him, you should be accepting this kid because the kid didn't do anything.
But at the end of the day,
you're accepting
these are your kids' siblings. And based on how you act on the show and how your siblings act on the show, y'all act like kids are the most important thing. So how could you be with a man, right? Or how could you praise a man? Even Kim, how can y'all praise this man when he's doing nothing for the kids that he has outside of the Kardashian kids?
Because it doesn't affect her.
Right.
At the
But
end of
then
the day,
don't pretend like y'all are
at the end of the day,
for kids.
But and we
End of the day,
typically,
two
we honestly
things can
don't
be-
know though. Khole could be very well telling him to be a part of these kids' lives. She could be. But clearly, Tristan don't listen to everything Khole says.
I just couldn't wholeheartedly be with a man that would completely abandon his child.
But also,
Or children.
two things can be true at the same time. Tristan could be a very good present father from not only his two with Khole, but also being a father figure for Kim's kids and stepping in where maybe Kanye has
Drop the ball.
dropped the ball and still not be in his other kids' lives.
Yeah.
Both can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Kim is saying. He's saying, hey, he stepped up when he didn't have to with my kids and has been there for my sister's kids. That doesn't mean that, but there's two sides to the same coin.
But to me, that means that he's only doing it for.
He's made a choice.
So
an
he's
image.
not a good father. So don't say he's a good father.
He's a good father to those kids. But he's not a good father.
Those things can be
So
true the
you
same.
can pick and choose which kids you want to
Yes.
be a good father to.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
crap. That's
Yes,
you're not
you
a
can,
good
because
father.
there's plenty of people who step up and
You're an
be-
opportunist. You're not a good father.
Yeah, 'cause I feel
you
like
know
the only
what?
reason you're doing
When
that
it-
is to appease the woman you're with.
Sometimes when it comes to, like I said, Tristan's a trash man. So that's not, I'm saying this in general, where sometimes it comes down to, sometimes when, just because you've become a father or a parent doesn't mean you're ready to take on those responsibilities. It does not mean in the future you won't be and can't have that. Different situations call for different things. So I think because he has different relationships with different mothers, it will shape the relationship with the child. And it's sad, but it's true. At the end of the day, circumstances sometimes do dictate how good of a parent you will be.
So why is he not paying for his child's tuition? Why is he not paying his child support that he's supposed to pay?
So he's not paying any child
But
support?
she said that he's not paying child support.
I don't know. But then again, when it comes to child support, we don't know what financial contributions he makes to Chloe's two kids. Because Chloe don't really need his money.
No, but he's supposed to be paying child support for all the kids. But
he should be.
Clearly,
And
he can't.
I agree with what Jillian's saying, and I get I see both sides, because I do see what you're saying, Stacey. How can you be considered a good father if you're not a good father to all your kids? Because
Right.
if you're abusive to one kid and loving to another, you're still an abusive father.
right.
And
You
it
know what
could
I mean?
be, and it, like I said, and I've heard this before where there have been kids in the same house
Yeah.
where they've been treated totally different, and where one child says, oh my God, they're awful. And then that same child in that same house, because they didn't physically endure any abuse, be like, what are you talking about? They were great to me. Because sometimes people just have this like,
But you're still a
blinders on.
trash.
So do you not think of that person as an abuser?
Yes.
Even though he didn't abuse one.
I'm not saying, me on the outside, yes, you're an abuser. Does that mean that every single person you encounter
Is going to feel the same way
Is gonna
about you.
feel
No,
the
but you're
same
still an
way.
abuser.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
same way,
you're
like
still an
there are
abuser.
men out there who have maybe you've had one girlfriend you've been physically abusive with, and maybe one that you haven't. Different circumstances.
Oh, you're still an abusive man.
You're still an abuser.
Yeah, you're still an abusive man, but if I was the one who wasn't abused, you'd be like, well, I never experienced that.
I never experienced it, right?
So people are talking from their own experience, very.
And I think
linear, this one-on-one relationship, not as we're not dealing Tristan. We on the outside, of course, are looking at him as a whole. They're just looking at their own one-on-one relationship.
I think Jillian and I can relate to that in the sense that we're not super close with our dad. He lives in Jamaica. We live here. We've grown up with our mom here, but we have siblings that grew up with him, and they look at him as a very present, active father who they love. I mean, I have a relationship with him. It's not the same relationship with him at all. Like, not even close. Like, some of the things they'll say to me, I'm like, whoa, I didn't experience that, Dad. But as I've gotten older, I've had to learn to just accept it. Like, you just didn't treat us the same. And
well, I think what triggered me when I watched the clip with Kim was the fact that they're really trying to make it seem like Tristan is this great father.
That's because
and
they
that's
want
great
he is.
guy, and I'm just like,
a good father to
no,
those kids.
he's not a
Yes.
great father
to those kids,
but he's
Stacey.
still a trash father.
I think Tristan
to
Thompson.
those kids.
I think Tristan Thompson is an opportunist. Period.
I
I don't
think he's-
necessarily think he's I think he knows how to be a good person, a good father, a good human. He just picks and chooses when he wants to do it.
I think Tristan
because why else wouldn't you? Because look at how he took in his brother who has special needs.
Khole.
So he knows.
Khole took in the brother.
He knows when to be a decent human. He knows when
Khole.
and how to be loving. It's just he chooses when he wants to do it. That's Tristan Thompson.
He lives with Khole. Khole took in the brother.
Okay, but the brother was going to live with him when he moves out.
And
he was living with just the brother before the roof collapsed.
And he's been living with but anyway, I
do think that Tristan Thompson has some issues. Like he's an opportunist. He's an opportunist. And I think he's a good manipulator and a good gaslighter.
He's definitely a good manipulator.
Clearly, he's getting the family back because I feel like Courtney's the only one that ain't drank the Kool-Aid again. Courtney, you don't deserve her.
He doesn't.
You don't deserve her. So I don't think you should be in her life like that.
But also, karma is real, and she get what she get because at the end of the day, Khole is not this nice person
she got that karma 10 times fold.
Yeah, honey. She's not that nice person that she wants people to believe that she is. Okay, so
I do think she's a nice person.
She tries really hard and she pretends to be an amazing person.
I don't think she pretends.
But I'm like, seriously, this man has kids out there and he's publicly won't acknowledge these kids. Khole, how can you be with a man that doesn't take care of all his kids?
But you can't force him to do it. We're going to leave him because of it?
I just wouldn't be with a man that wouldn't take care of his kids.
Yeah, you wouldn't have it. Like I said,
I wouldn't do it.
She's already in that situation. At the end of the day,
mom.
she already has
two kids with him.
Yeah.
It's done.
Now, whether or not she wants to still have a romantic relationship, that I think, girl, you stupid. But at the end of the day, she's doing what is best for her kids, trying to keep their father present in their lives in a way that the other two mothers cannot.
I think that's really what Chloe's doing.
I mean, I guess
I really do.
But at the end of the day, I mean, if she can get back with him if she wants, he's going to cheat on her again. Because
I don't think she should or will. I don't.
Girl.
I don't know. I really hope she's not that.
But here's the thing.
He's going
to cheat on her again because
You've already gone through it 3 different times.
I personally think that he doesn't care about anybody but himself. I don't think he cares about the kids either. I think that Chloe's there. It's easy for him.
I think he's not a monster. He's not a monster, right? So when he sees his daughter run up to him, he hugs them. He's like, when he sees the kids needing to go to eat, he'll take them.
That don't mean you're a good father.
He's a monster. That's my whole point. I don't think he's a monster. I just don't necessarily think he is like more of an opportunist than anything. He's gonna take care of the kids that are in front of his face. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be nice to the kids in front of his face.
I just feel like,
and that situation could change if they're not together, and maybe he moves on and gets another relationship.
Right?
That relationship could turn on a dime, and Khloe could be in the same situation that those other two mothers are in at this moment, at this time. But yes, he is a good father to these 2 children and a father figure to Kim's kids. Like I said, does not mean that it's one of those things where 2 things can be, like I said, 2 things can be true at the same time, where he's a good father to these kids and unfortunately an absent father from these kids.
And I think with Kim, she was going through one of the hardest times in her life. So anybody that stepped in to assist her, she's just thinking in a positive light.
Too, sometimes can get on my, I think because I just can't stand Kim sometimes. And I'm like, I don't like Kim sometimes. And I'm just like, oh, so now you're trying to call Kanye out because as far as I understand, Kanye has begged you to tell him where the kid's birthday party was.
Kanye, but I think Kanye's lying. I think
isn't
Kanye's
he
lying.
The same one that complained when she's complained when he tried to buy a house like 2 doors down from her?
Kanye has always said that he wants to be very present.
I think that was a controlling move on his part.
He has always wanted to be very present in his kids' lives. He's always said that. So to sit here and act like Kanye don't do nothing, like, come on, like.
Let's honestly,
Kim.
Honestly,
I think he's lying. I don't think that Kim has cut off access to his children.
No, I think she has.
He went on a whole live, and
I don't believe him.
He got the information.
I think it's a safety
issue.
I
don't believe him.
I think it's a safety issue, but I also think that first of all, this is my own humble opinion. Kim and Kanye should never have gotten together in the first place. And I really think I don't think Kim was ever truly in love with Kanye. I think what she was wanting was access to a certain lifestyle to elevate her social status in a way that she couldn't do on her own as a reality show star, subject.
He did elevate her, but I do truly believe she loved him.
So here's what I think.
No, I don't.
But he did elevate her.
I think Kim was in love with the idea of what we thought Kanye was, but nobody knew the real Kanye. And I think once she found out the real, I don't think so, because Kanye,
I think she did.
I don't think he wasn't that person before the mom died.
She knew who he was. She kept having kids. That's the part that tripped me out. He kept having kids. He started mentally declining after North. You had number 2, you had number 3, you had number 4.
She shouldn't have
You should never have had that many kids. So for me, honestly, with Kim, and this is another reason I don't like her, I think, honestly, her kids she's just casted new characters in her reality show. Not truly, like, I know she always wanted to be a mother, but it's the same way that Chris, and I think she gets it from Chris, she sees them as a commodity to be monetized.
Okay. You're saying that, but I don't feel like I see the kids on social media. Like North, maybe because she's older, but I don't see Psalms on stuff. I don't see Psalms in Chicago.
They're grooming them.
I don't see those 3. I don't see.
They're there.
They're there.
So
they're grooming them.
They're not even on the show.
They're grooming them.
But they're on social media all the time.
Where?
They're on TikTok or wherever.
I see North
and Chicago too, and Penelope. They all.
The older ones, yes. But those younger ones,
they're grooming
I don't see them.
They're grooming them
all over the place, flicking people off and stuff, giving people the finger.
All I'm saying is y'all are saying that she's basically using them as casting. I don't see them on the show. They're not on there.
I don't see that.
She's grooming them. So
I don't
right now.
Well, how do you know that? You don't see them.
When they're old enough to contribute actual content to drive the show, yes, you will see them on there a lot more.
Of course you will, because
guarantee it.
That is how she makes money. That's her job. So you'll see her kids.
Let me just jump
at some point.
Let me jump in
and
real
I think
quick.
She's on reality TV.
Let me say something real quick. So I'm not saying I agree with Jillian. I personally believe that Kim was in love with the persona that was Kanye, and I don't think she really knew what she was getting herself into when she was with.
I believe that part. I don't think she understood what she was getting herself into.
I think she was infatuated and could have loved Kanye.
That she loved him because they had a friendship before they were in a relationship.
Exactly, but she didn't really. That's what I'm saying. It's the persona of who she thought he was, because they did, and they always had sexual chemistry from before right? And I don't think she truly knew. She was in love with who she thought he was, right?
She was in love with the genius, the image,
the persona of him,
the brilliance.
Yes, but then I think when she truly found out what all comes with being with Kanye, it is a lot for any woman.
That happens in any relationship.
Exactly.
You're in love with them at first, and then as you get into the relationship, or as you get into the marriage, you realize, hey, you have all these things that are now no longer going to work for me. And I don't think that means that she went into it thinking this is a business contract.
No, I don't think she did, and I don't think she had the kids for that. I think Kim wanted a lot of kids because that's how they are in their family, and she wanted all her kids to have one father. So even though there's issues.
That's the
Courtney
same exact way
kept
Courtney
on having
did
kids
it.
with Scott. She wanted all her kids to have.
Look at Khole. I feel like they all
that's what
want
they do.
a certain.
They want a bunch of kids.
They want that same lifestyle that their mom had, which was I'm gonna be like a boss, but I'm also gonna have all these kids, and I'm gonna be a great mom, and I'm gonna keep everybody tight knit. They want that same thing.
Because Courtney did the same thing. She had all those kids with Scott, and Scott was terrible to her.
Yeah,
but she wanted to have multiple kids. They believe in big families, and they wanted all their kids to have the same father. Look at Kylie does the same. Kylie has 2 kids, and she's not even with Travis. But if she
no, I do, and I think
they like
and
having a lot of kids.
They're also in the spotlight, so you have to think about all their kids are going to be in the spotlight. They're all going to be friends with celebrity kids. They're all going to be in the same circle.
I don't believe that. Even if you're a celebrity, you can still shield your kids. There's plenty of celebrities out there. If you told me to go pick their kids out of a lineup, I couldn't.
But we just started seeing Beyonce kid, and she's been shielding her kids.
Yeah, but there you go. And then her kid, Blue Ivy's like best friends with North.
Who said that?
They're friends.
They're not best friends. TikToks together don't mean nothing.
They're friends. Yeah. They're best.
No,
like
Blue Ivy did. No, Blue Ivy didn't do nothing with North.
Blue Ivy has not done anything with North.
No,
but they're friends.
No, barely. Because Kim didn't even.
Kim
and Beyonce don't even like each other. They just started talking since she done left Kanye.
Oh, I thought they were.
No,
North did a TikTok with Mariah Carey's daughter.
They have never done. They don't even allow their kids to hang out together. They're 2 different type of kids. Blue Ivy's actually older than.
I don't. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I haven't seen Kim exploit her children.
I'm not saying she did. I did not say she was exploiting her kids.
That's not what I've seen.
I read it different. Like I said, it's what Chris did. I think they're just mimicking their mother. I think they're doing what Chris did. They're turning their children into commodities. If you do not
But that's
think
all they know
what
also.
if you think that Kim is not going to do to her kids what her mom did to her and her siblings, you're deluded.
To them, make them successful, rich, and known.
Okay.
So here's my
go.
thing. I mean,
You
listen,
act like Chris was a monster to her children.
I'm not saying that she's a monster. I'm not saying that.
Said it was fucked up. I'm like, what part?
At the end of the day, like I said, me personally, this is from like the many years ago that I watched it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel like, especially now that they're adults, I feel like with Chris, she's more of a manager than a mom. It's more of a business relationship than a mother-daughter relationship.
Because they're grown now, it's business.
Where everything
business, yeah.
Where everything has to be commoditized. Everything has to be, how we're going to make this push our brand. And sometimes I feel like, I understand that you're reality TV stars and your life is the product, but sometimes I'm just like, damn, like it's one of those things where you truly are famous for being famous. Like you don't actually have any feasible talent.
I think they have talent
where they would keep,
because
they know how to make a product relevant, baby.
To remain famous.
I'm not saying that.
Talented.
They
That's
are
great.
talented.
That's great marketing. I'm just
That's
saying
talent.
That's talent. Being
That's
a great
great
marketer.
They're good business
being a
people.
good marketer.
I'm not saying that.
Well, that's what you just said.
What I'm saying is the talent is not the marketing. The talent is Beyonce. She's famous because she's a singer. She has a talent that she has commoditized, or an actor, or an actual skill that you're doing. Now, as far as, they're great at business. That's not being great at business. That's
to
what
me,
I'm saying.
it's a talent.
Business of what? What are they selling?
Themselves.
Exactly.
Their products.
They're not. That's not.
That is talent.
They're selling themselves.
They're selling their products.
Pause, Julian. If you could go,
They're selling their products, but why?
They're marketing it well. So you don't think that a person that is running a Fortune 500 company marketed? You don't think the people who are marketed Square are not brilliant and talented people?
Yes, but they came up with an actual product.
So the product.
So Skims is not a product. Skims is not a product. Skims is not a product.
Let's just be honest. When it comes to Skims, that is not her brainchild. It's not like the person. It's not like the person who came up with Spanx. She actually stitched this, came up with the idea, stitched it, had prototypes. She came up with the idea.
I think
so. Then
Kim
basically,
did not invent
so once you
Spanx.
make some,
I think you're getting too.
She did.
Here's the thing:
was what Kim did,
Yeah,
and if you think that Kim came up with Skims, no. What she did was a company came to her, has a product. We're going to put you as the name of it, face this product, and you're going to market it. And the reason why people are attracted to it is because of she's selling her lifestyle, not because she's talented.
Because she's a brilliant marketer.
You got to give her credit, okay? You're saying that they have no talent. They can't sing. They can't whatever.
No,
here's the thing. They were able to market. You know what their brand is? Their brand is themselves. If I could market myself the way they marketed themselves and be rich, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Jillian, they are the most famous family in America.
I don't have that talent to market myself the way they marketed themselves.
From no talent.
That is talent.
That didn't come from no talent.
Okay, so like I said, all they're doing is selling themselves.
The royal family.
Really, at the end of the day, if tomorrow people say she's not relevant anymore, do you think she can duplicate what she did again with someone else?
Yeah, I do.
I do.
They have many times. Girl, you know how many people Kris Jenner manages?
Her kids?
No, baby.
You know,
she has her own agency. Jillian.
Who did she manage?
Do you know?
So you think that Kris Jenner is not a talented woman?
Who did she manage?
You don't think she's a talented woman?
Who did she manage?
What? She gonna get her phone. Listen, this is not what the topic was about. So how do we even get on this?
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, like I said, when it comes to, if we want to get back to the subject, at the end of the day, when it comes to Tristan, it is what it is. It's one of those things where, like I said, two things can be right at the same time. Where yes, he's a good kid. He's a good father to these kids, a father figure to Kim's kids, and a shitty dad to his other two kids. And I think a lot of it comes around circumstance as well, where it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. And for him, these are the kids that he sees every day. And so those are the kids that he's involved in. Those are the kids that he's present for. And because he's not in the not with the mother of his other 2 kids, unfortunately they get the shaft of it. So,
and I just think that's crappy, and I think it really sucks.
It is. Janice?
I mean, final little talk on that. Tristan, I think with Tristan, it's mostly he's going to be the best version of himself or whoever he's with. I think he's just concerned about who's in front of his face. Saint's in front of him. Saint needs to go to dinner, so I'm going to go ahead and take Saint out to dinner. Like, I think he's that type of person. I don't think he's going maliciously saying, I don't like these kids, or I don't want nothing to do with these kids. It's out of sight, out of mind. We've experienced it. I mean, I don't think he hates us. Or he didn't love us. It just, we weren't in front of his face. We lived here.
I understand what you said, Jill, and what you said, Janice, but my thing is, like, you're not truly a good father if you're not a good father, or at least striving to be a good father to all your kids.
Right.
And to have a child that you completely disregard because it was a one-night stand, that's sad. That innocent child had nothing to do with that. And then your first child, that just because you're not with the mom or whatever, you just going to ignore that one too. I mean, to me, I don't care how good you are to someone else's kids, you're not a good father.
I agree with that.
And that's just my final thoughts on it.
I agree, because I agree with what Jillian said was the 2 can be true. You can't be a good father to that person, but are you a good father? No,
right.
You have to be a father, because a father encompasses all your children.
All your children, right.
Yeah.
And it's sad because one day in the future,
It could be.
you might need something, and the only person that could give it to you might be that one child that you just said you did not want and nothing to do with.
Oh, girl, yeah.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Tristan as a person, as a whole, is not a good person.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he's and it might be his manipulation that has gotten me, but I just hate to, I think he's not a good person, but I think he's a damaged person. I think he's a trauma, like he's trauma ridden. Like he's just, I don't know what he went through, but what he does in his life, that can't just, I don't think he's evil. I don't think he's an evil person.
I'm not saying he's an evil person.
I think he's selfish, and all he thinks about is himself.
And he's also younger.
He needs counseling. He needs help. He needs to figure out why he does what he does. Well, but that does not mean the person he did those things to needs to give him another chance. No. Khole, stay away, baby.
She needs to. And I think this stage in her life, Khole needs someone that's a little bit older, more mature, because, he is younger than Khole.
She needs somebody a little bit more nurturing, because I think she's always been the nurturer in her relationship.
Right.
So I think she needs somebody nurturing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, she can do so much better. And
she is my favorite Kardashian.
I think at the end of the day, I feel like, because a lot of people dogpiled on her as far as like, oh, she's not the pretty sister or whatever. And
I think she's gorgeous. Actually.
I think she is too.
She was.
I mean, she's
said to be the less attractive sister.
Yeah. Not like I said, none of them. I think other than Kendall, none of them are the original versions of themselves. They've clearly have all had work done, so they're not even who they used to be.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Boo? We're not
going to talk about that. Anyways, at the end of the day, because it is what it is. I think for her, I think sometimes she doesn't feel like she deserves love.
I was about to say, I wonder if Khole feels like she can't do any better because of what she went through with Lamar. I mean, he was at whorehouses and stuff.
And now she's so snatched, and her body's so banging.
I almost
she's
wonder,
always like done up, so it could be. Like
I always wonder if she feels like this is what she does. Like this is it for her. This is what she deserves. Like she has kids with him now. Maybe I should just hang on to this and just have all. I don't know.
If it's that, it's subconscious.
Well, right. I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve better, but some women just think they don't deserve better.
I feel for her because I can only imagine how close she feels with him. I can, because when you see them together, I'm like, man, I feel for you because I know this is the person you care about.
But you
just cannot trust him.
When I watched Khloe, when she was with Lamar, I could see that Khloe loved Lamar, and I could see the love between them. I never saw that same type of love with her and Tristan.
I do see it with her and Tristan.
I didn't.
They're like besties.
No, I saw it with Lamar.
I see it with Lamar too.
Khloe loved Lamar.
But I honestly feel like Khloe's not the type of person to be with somebody unless she really loves it. I've seen her her with Tristan. I truly believe she really loves him. But again, and I think he truly loves her.
I don't think she loves Tristan the way she loved Lamar.
She loved Lamar.
And I really do think that if Lamar hadn't been on drugs and messed up the way he did, they would be together and still have kids.
Lamar could have been her person. I don't know.
I think he is. I actually hope that one day.
It's just weird. Let's just get out of here, y'all, because I'm sorry. It was a great episode today, but I gotta get back to Sister Wives.
I'm about to go get my hair did.
I'm gonna go back to bed so I can finish recovering.
We will talk to y'all next week. Bye.
See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the platform you're listening on, and leave us a review.
We want to support local businesses, so if you'd like us to shout out your business, or if you have a topic suggestion, or even questions for our QA section, we want to hear from you. So reach out to us at letmefinish@gmail.com.
You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Let Me Finish. Don't forget that the E in me is the number 3. You can find me at New Jillian Who Dis on Instagram. Stacy, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Mrs. Cams01. I'm also on TikTok, Mrs. Cams01, MRSKAMS01.
And Janice, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Uniquely Janice, and Facebook and TikTok, I'm just Janice Housen.
Okay. See you next week.
See you next week.
See you guys then.